All right, beautiful weekend ahead. I'm glad you're starting it with us. SANDAG held a meeting on Friday talking about railroad relocation efforts, among other things. Joining us now with more on what was covered in that meeting is SANDAG board member for Del Mar, Terry Gaasterland. Terry, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Jason. It's really good to be here with you.
So you were telling me off camera that this meeting had kind of a different balance to it.
It did. It had a different flavor in the room. There were certain people who were simply not there. Our chair was not there. The executive director was not there. So we had substitutes for them. Okay. And the surprise for me was that what was going to be just an update on railroad relocation, where I thought, okay, I've seen all these slides several times. You know, there's not going to be anything new here. There was something new.
And what was that?
The new thing was the mayor of Encinitas reminding the board members that a bunch of years ago, there was a plan, a potential plan, I guess it was a plan for a plan, to take freight from Miramar to Escondido and then up the I-15. And during the meeting, I stepped back, I saw some of my fellow mayors of some of the cities sit back and think about this. It led to a really interesting discussion about if we could get freight inland and up I-15 and get some passenger traffic along there as well, if appropriate, that freight off of the I-5 corridor would really free up and create the opportunity for new thinking.
As somebody who has driven the 15 corridor for decades extensively, where in the world are you going to put train tracks?
You know, I don't know.
That's kind of an issue.
What I've been told is that there's a right-of-way there for train. So, but your question is the right question. And really, what are we doing right now? Yesterday's discussion, this open-ended discussion saying, hey, if we're going to rethink Del Mar, let's really rethink the San Diego region. Back in Del Mar, we need to look at those bluffs. So we saw a video yesterday of a bluff fall that happened that reminded everyone on the board, these bluffs are crumbling. SANDAG is about to spend $78 million to put in seawalls and piles and hope that that's enough to keep those train tracks on top of the bluff until they can relocate inland. And one of the things I noticed yesterday was they've stretched the timeline out a little bit.
Really?
It was that it was going to be relocated by 2030. Now it's saying by 2035, having a choice of an alignment by 2026, and then being ready for construction in 2028. Every one of these is about 2 years too far out.
Yeah, kicking the can down the road.
We need to put more urgency on this. This bluff stabilization is temporary. Look at these bluffs. Look at what's down below. This is insidiously crumbling, and it's crumbling with stormwater and irrigation coming from above and inland, underground water.
The last time you were here and I was talking with you in our interview, you were talking about how they had established a way to move the tracks inland.
Yes.
Yeah, so we know it can be done.
We know it can be done. And we also know that we can tunnel under the fairgrounds and under the San Diego River. The question is there stomach for what will have to happen for that to happen? The trench will have to go lower in the southern part of Solana Beach. That southern part of Solana Beach is single tracked right now. It's going to need to double track. The trench is going to need to be reconfigured with new retaining walls anyway. So my hope, and a lot of people in Del Mar have hope, that we'll be able to do that lowering of the bottom of the trench, and that by the time we get to the fairgrounds, we'll be 100 feet underground, and the train can go through a tunnel.
It's a big job.
It is a big job.
Was this what was this topic what the meeting was focused on yesterday?
The meeting was focused on letting the board know what the process is.
Okay.
And the process is going to be really important. What I found most interesting was when the SANDAG engineer said, you know, we thought we were close to considering 2 alignments. Now we have about 12 different possibilities on the table. This is good because the fairgrounds alignment is one of those 12. The other side on the south, if you've ever biked along the bike path that is on Old Sorrento Valley Road, you go past this thing that is a pump station. It's in the city of San Diego. And having the south south portal at that end with an I-5 alignment and a tunnel under the fairgrounds would make so much sense for so many people, both on the north and the south sides of Del Mar. Both of those are on the table
So
now.
that's a good thing.
It's wonderful.
Considering options.
Yep.
We just need to make a decision, one way or the other.
Yes, and we need to make it sooner than 2026.
Right.
My view, if we can get this fairgrounds figured out, if it can work, let's just do it.
Are the environmental studies all done?
No, that's next.
That's a
that has
big
to happen
one.
in 2024.
Okay, that's a big one right
Yep.
there. It took forever for Highway 52 to get built out to Santee.
Yes. Luckily, some of the studies have been done. 2017 was a first pass, so the next wave will build on that.
All right, Terry Gaasterland, I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Jason.
thanks. Have a great weekend.